Well, look, before we go, it would appear to me as a very uninterested observer that the Oscars have joined the ABC's Q&A club. That is, no one's interested nor wants to hear a lecture from elites. Hollywood's so-called Night of Nights, the Oscars, slumped to a record low viewership of 9.85 million in a nation of 328 million, down 58% from last year's 23.6 million viewers, and that was a record low, down by 6 million from 2019. Is it a surprise? I think not. Who would want to sit and watch a group of narcissists who have an overinflated sense of self-importance, who reside in Los Angeles mansions, lecturing us for hours on TV? You'd think of films from the past that won an Oscar like My Fair Lady with Audrey Hepburn and Gladiator with Russell Crowe. These were compulsory viewing. This year it was filled with movies picked because of the identity of who directed them or who featured in them. Chloe Zhao, whom you've never heard of, became the first woman of colour to win Best Director, a Chinese woman. The films winning awards all night were barely on the big screen. The actress Regina King began the ceremony by hailing the conviction of Derek Chauvin for the murder of George Floyd. Ms King said, "It's been quite a year, and I have to be honest, if things had gone differently this past week in Minneapolis, I may have traded in my heels for marching boots." Is there any wonder why the jury unanimously convicted Derek Chauvin and why the Supreme Court didn't touch Donald Trump's claims of voter fraud at the presidential election? The militant left, people like Regina King, were ready to riot if things didn't go their way. King's insufferable diatribe started a string of virtue signalling speeches by movie stars, making this year's Oscars the most woke ever. The director Trayvon Free showed off a jacket emblazoned with the names of black people killed by police. And then Mia Neal spoke about trans and minority ethnic people in her acceptance speech for Best Hair and Makeup. Neal was the first black woman to win the award. It went on and on. Fox News host Sean Hannity got it right when he called the Oscars, and I quote, "one big far-left protest where self-obsessed celebrities berate the American people and tell them how to think." The UK broadcaster Piers Morgan wrote that viewers were, quote, "treated to a breathtakingly boring procession of self-indulgent, heavily scripted actors delivering supremely virtuous identity politics speeches. The tragic truth," he wrote, "is that the Oscars, as we know them, died last night, woked to death by a craven collective desire from those involved to preach, not entertain, to lecture rather than make us laugh, and to virtue signal instead of perform," unquote. I wonder when politicians and corporates and those in the media will understand that the public can't hack this woke rubbish. You traffic in it at your own peril. Which brings me to the thought for the night. Elitism is the slur directed at merit by mediocrity.